Welcome everyone to another video, and in this video we are going to be covering the top 10 Pokemon to use your fast elite TM. Obviously this won't come out for another 8 weeks or so, 7 weeks in the season 1, and then 1 week in the preseason. It's going to be a end of season reward for anyone that achieves rank 7 or higher. So hopefully everyone will achieve that and get access to the fast and charged TM. It does take quite a bit of work to put together these videos, so I will do the charged TM version if I get like 300 likes or something like that. So smash that like button if you can. It is very helpful because these videos take a lot of time, don't get a lot of watch time, and get like okay views. So any help would be helpful. So my methodology for ranking these top 10 Pokemon will be based on their rarity. So Pokemon can be, legacy and useful, or not TMable at the current period of time. But it can be pretty common or like not as rare. So example would be Smackdown Tyranitar. Smackdown Tyranitar, very useful for raids. Very useful in some niche formats in PvP. But it is like we've had 3 opportunities to get Smackdown Tyranitar. It's Larvitar Community Day, 2018 massive Community Day, end of the year Community Day, and 2019 massive Community Day. So I feel like there's been quite a few opportunities, but there are certainly some people that still don't have them. So rarity is one aspect. The second one is going to be usefulness, based on how useful it is in Silph Arena and Go Battle League, in the Flying 3, Great, Ultra, and Master League meta. I'm going to be scoring these and ranking them based off a score is equal to rarity plus usefulness times 1.1. At number 10, we are going to have Lapras with Ice Shard. You also need Ice Beam for Ultra League to make it useful, but that can be a separate discussion. In terms of rarity, I put it at 3. You still can't find it everywhere, but it has had a Ray Day comeback, and people really like Lapras, and it had a shiny. And there was a recent another opportunity like in Quest or something else where you could have got it. So there's been quite a few opportunities. Still not everywhere, as I said earlier, but still, pretty common. Its usefulness is very high. It's one of the best Pokemon in Great League, one of the best Pokemon in Ultra League. Ultra League is probably where it actually shines the most because it can act as a Swampert counter, a Togekiss counter, and a Giratina counter. So it acts as the perfect mold breaker for that really dynamic core. Unfortunately, it struggles a little bit with Registeel. Still, I would say still struggles, but it's quite bulky in Ultra. Again, useful in Silph Arena and Go Battle League. And at number 9, I actually find out that this is probably not coming back because it is no longer in Graveler's move pool, but it became Legacy shortly after, just like Golem and a few other Pokemon. It became Legacy shortly after the game came out, about like a month or so later. Its rarity is quite high because like how many people have kept Gravelers from that time period? How many people evolve them? Like if you were I don't think I even had I probably had a Geodude, and I probably evolved a Geodude to a Golem by that point in time, but I definitely did not keep a Graveler. For those that kept living decks, and then as well were lucky enough to keep Mudshot, that's pretty awesome. So rarity, very high. Usefulness, probably not. Mudshot certainly makes it better. You can run Mudshot, Rock Blast, Stone Edge. Stone Edge is, as House Stark pointed out to me in a video, said that it's actually a Shadow Ball clone, which it is. 55 energy, 100 damage with that stab. Going to do a lot of damage. It also has access to Dig, which is a pretty terrible ground move, but does give it some pretty nice coverage against some other types. And then in terms of usefulness, for fun, and it has some niche use. It's not. Its typing is not that great. Its move pool is only okay, but if it had Earthquake, maybe it would be a lot better. And at number 8, we have Muck. So Muck became Legacy in February 16th, 2017, during that big Legacy Day. Its rarity is 7. I've seen a decent amount of them. Usefulness 6. It has some niche use in some Silph Arena tournaments. Like I know people are talking about it in season 1 regionals because it has access to with like Lick. You're able to do quite a bit of damage to Medicham, for example, since it's a ghost type move, and then with Thunder Punch, it's able to hit Skarmory and Azumarill, and it has some other niche use, but it also still already has Poison Jab that generates energy. That's actually a better move than Lick, but Lick is a one-turn move and it can be quite spammy. So especially if you hit a break point, it can do actually probably more damage than Poison. Probably not, but pretty comparable. And if it's super effective, gives some nice coverage, especially against Psychic types, I guess. Yeah, Psychic types because of the ghost damage. But yeah, so some use. Pretty interesting. I probably wouldn't use it on Muck, but it's made the list. Next up is Beedrill with the Bug Bite. Typically, you run Poison Jab on your Beedrill. Beedrill, again, not super uncommon. Actually, someone traded me one in Dortmund, so thank you for that. It's has some use, but a lot of times you already have X Scissor, which is pretty spammy as a bug type move, and Poison Jab is actually a pretty decent move. So similar camp to Muck. Actually, Bug Bite and Lick are clones of each other. So it has some niche use in some Silph Arena cups. And at number 6, we have Razor Leaf Weepinbell. It is one of probably the highest Razor Leaf attacker in the Great League. Plus it looks pretty cool. Again, it became Legacy on that same date. It's pretty rare because, again, second stage Pokemon, but I certainly have seen some used. Usefulness, has some niche use in some cups, but is very glassy and doesn't have as great a move pool as Victory Bell. So, it's there. Next up is Pidgeot with Wing Attack. Became Legacy on that same day. Rarity is 8. Usefulness is 7. It has some use in some Silph Arena cups, as we see in Toxic. It also has access to Air Slash, which is currently available, but Wing Attack allows it to get to its really strong. Well, it actually doesn't have really strong charge moves, but it allows it to get to charge moves a lot quicker. I think it has you want to run Aerial Ace and Hurricane, which are not necessarily the greatest set of charge moves, but does make Pidgeot a little bit better, especially when they ban Noctowl. It becomes one of the best flyers in the normal flying category. But that group is getting pretty crowded. I'm not gonna lie. Next up, we have Charizard with Wing Attack. Legacy on that same day. Rarity is 7. Like a lot of people like Charizard, might have kept one around. It's a fast move, so again, a 1 in 2 chance of being able to get it. It's extremely useful in some Silph Arena play and some Go Battle League. I would say Wing Attack plus Blast Burn, which is a distinct possibility now, even with a fresh Charizard, is arguably more useful than Wing Attack Overheat, just because of the 2-stage debuff. You basically can only fire it off once before you have to switch out, or your attack is going to be greatly reduced. It has some really nice play in some Silph Arena tournaments, so I categorize its usefulness quite high. So if you have a Blast Burn one that you want to TM to Wing Attack, then definitely all the more reason to do so, because it's going to find some nice use, especially if you participate in Silph Arena. And at number 3, we have Lord Zapdos, my team bird, but that's not the reason why I selected it. Thundershock, as pointed out by Jay Devin and a few others, increases the number of wins dramatically over Charge Beam. First off, Charge Beam, terrible move, awful move. Thundershock allows it to pick up a lot more wins and be a lot more consistent and be able to get to fire off Thunderbolt, and then you could run Drill Peck or Ancient Power, depending on what kind of coverage you guys. And then it's going to be able to spam quite nicely. And its typing is not terrible. It's not bad. So its usefulness is 7. I think there's definitely some really nice play. It also picks up the matchups against Registeel much better in Ultra League. It has some niche use in Silph. So I think that's a really nice pickup. And I rate Rarity of 10 because, like, you couldn't get Thundershock on Zapdos in Great League before this possibility. So I think that's pretty cool if you ask me in my books. And you're watching this video, so hopefully you are asking me, or you're calling me an idiot for putting it at number 3. And at number 2 we have Water Gun on Feraligatr. It's extremely rare. People talk about Stone Edge, Blaziken. Water Gun on Feraligatr became Legacy like a couple days later, so it didn't really have that much bigger window. Of course, it was a fast move, so there's going to be like 1 in 2 chance as opposed to 1 in 3 chance on the evolve. So certainly not as rare as Blaziken with Stone Edge, but from a fast move perspective, I think it's way up there. Zapdos is more like an 11 or 15, but the Feraligatr with Water Gun is certainly pretty rare. I actually haven't seen one. And it does allow you to pick up the matchup against Registeel pretty consistently. Allows you to beat Swampert in Ultra League, and it's a really nice alternative to the very slow energy generation move of Waterfall. So it still does some decent damage as well. So really useful in Go Battle League if you're looking for an alternative. It also has that crunch damage, and then as well keep your opponent guessing on whether or not you're bringing Ice Fang or Water Gun. And at number 1, you probably guessed it. It's the very extremely bulky, Dewgong. Dewgong is with Ice Shard. You also need Icy Wind to have it at its full effectiveness. But the rarity is at 7. People, it's a final stage. It was a fast move. Of course, you need Icy Wind. If you include Icy Wind as well, then it's probably rarity is more like a 9. But if you already have, if you're just looking at the Ice Shard, then I would say a 7. A 7 is pretty reasonable. Its usefulness, it's extremely useful in Silph. We saw it be one of the most dominating Pokemon in was it Fusion or Timeless? Timeless. I think it was Timeless. I could be wrong. Whatever, I think it was timeless. Whatever cup it was, in any future cup, it's going to be really useful. When it's one of those Pokemon that gets banned in Silph, it's going to be pretty good. It also has some like pretty niche use in Great League, Go Battle League. If you're trying to look for something pretty exciting, then it's a very bulky alternative. It's able to spam those Icy Winds. Unfortunately, it doesn't have great coverage move, but its bulk sure makes up for it. So anyways, I'm gonna leave it there. Again, if we get to 300 likes, I'll do the charge move version of this, and hopefully you're as excited as I am about these elite TMs, and they're actually way better than I thought they would be. So that's pretty crazy. So anyways, I'm gonna leave there. If you guys like this video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see everyone in the next video.